Assalamu alaikum and Eid Mubarak, everyone! Today, we're going to prepare a proper Eid feast. We're talking about a spread that'll make your Eid absolutely sing, a symphony of flavors that'll have your guests begging for more. Listen, whether you're a seasoned pro in the kitchen or you're just starting out, these recipes are dead simple to follow. We're going for maximum flavor with minimum fuss because Eid is a time for celebration, not slaving away over a hot stove all day, right? So roll up your sleeves, get those aprons on, and let's cook up a storm. Alright, you lot, let's kick things off with a bang. We're talking about juicy, succulent Seekh Kebabs, the kind that practically melt in your mouth. First, grab your minced lamb. None of that low-fat rubbish, we want flavor. Get it in a bowl and give it a good seasoning of salt and pepper. Remember, seasoning is key. Next, we're going in with some finely chopped onions, ginger, and garlic. These bad boys are going to add a real depth of flavor to our kebabs. Now, don't even think about using that dried, dusty stuff from a jar. Fresh is best, always. Now, for the spices. We need a good pinch of turmeric, cumin, and coriander powder. And for that signature Seekh Kebab aroma, a generous sprinkle of garam masala. Mix it all up with your hands. Get stuck in there. Now here's the secret to super juicy kebabs. A bit of yogurt. It tenderizes the meat and keeps it moist during cooking. And while we're at it, let's add a squeeze of lemon juice for that extra zing. Mix it all up again, then cover the bowl and let those flavors mingle in the fridge for at least an hour. Trust me, it's worth the wait. While the mixture is chilling, let's get our skewers ready. If you're using wooden skewers, soak them in water for about 30 minutes to prevent them from burning on the grill. Now back to our kebab mixture. Divide it into equal portions and mold them onto the skewers, making sure they're nice and compact. Now fire up that grill. We want those flames licking the kebabs, giving them a beautiful char on the outside. Keep turning them regularly so they cook evenly on all sides. Once they're cooked through and gloriously golden brown, take them off the grill. And there you have it. Juicy, succulent Seekh kebabs that are bursting with flavor. Serve them hot with a squeeze of lemon and a dollop of yogurt, and watch them disappear in seconds. Right, you lot. Are you ready for the main event? We're talking about a show-stopping mutton korma that's going to blow your socks off. This is a dish that's all about rich, aromatic flavors and melt-in-your-mouth tenderness. First up, we need some good quality mutton. I'm talking about tender, juicy pieces that are going to soak up all those incredible flavors. Brown the mutton in a hot pan with a bit of oil. We want a nice caramelized crust on the outside. This is going to add a real depth of flavor to our korma. Now for the aromatics. We're talking about finely chopped onions, ginger, and garlic. Fry them up in the same pan until they're soft and fragrant. And remember, no skimping on the garlic. Garlic is life. Next, it's time for the spices. We're going in with a generous amount of turmeric, cumin, coriander powder, and chili powder. And for that signature korma flavor, a good spoonful of garam masala. Fry the spices with the onions and garlic for a minute or two. This will release their oils and intensify the flavors. Now, for the secret ingredient, yogurt. Yes, you heard me right. Yogurt adds a wonderful creaminess to the korma and helps to tenderize the mutton even further. Mix it all up and let it simmer for a few minutes. Now, it's time to add our liquid. We're using a combination of water and coconut milk for a rich, creamy sauce. Bring it up to a boil, then reduce the heat, cover the pan, and let it simmer gently for at least an hour, or until the mutton is melt-in-your-mouth tender. While the korma is simmering, let's talk about garnishes. We want something fresh and vibrant to cut through the richness of the dish. Coriander, mint, and a squeeze of lemon juice are all fantastic options. Once the korma is cooked, give it a taste and adjust the seasoning if needed. And there you have it, a truly spectacular mutton korma that's fit for a king. Serve it hot with fluffy basmati rice, naan bread, and all your favorite garnishes. Now that's what I call a feast. Listen, no Eid feast is complete without a refreshing drink to wash it all down. And today, we're making a chilled Rose Falooda that's going to tantalize your taste buds and leave you feeling refreshed and satisfied. It's sweet, it's floral, it's got a bit of texture going on. What's not to love? First things first, we need to make the Falooda noodles. These are thin, vermicelli-like noodles that add a delightful texture to our drink. Now, you can find ready-made Falooda noodles at most Indian grocery stores. But if you're feeling adventurous, you can make them from scratch. Trust me, it's easier than you think. Once you've got your noodles sorted, let's move on to the rose syrup. This is what gives the Falooda its signature floral aroma and sweetness. Again, you can find ready-made rose syrup, or you can make your own by simmering rose petals with sugar and water. Now for the fun part, assembling our Falooda. In a tall glass, add a generous spoonful of those lovely Falooda noodles. Then add a splash of rose syrup. Now, here's where you can get creative. Some people like to add a bit of basil seeds, also known as savia seeds, to their Falooda. These tiny seeds have a slightly gelatinous texture and add a nice crunch. Next, pour in some chilled milk. You can use full-fat milk, low-fat milk, or even almond milk, whatever tickles your fancy. Now, for the final touch, a scoop of ice cream. Vanilla ice cream is the classic choice, but feel free to experiment with other flavors like pistachio or rosé. And there you have it. A chilled rose Falooda that's as beautiful as it is delicious. Garnish it with a sprinkle of chopped pistachios and a few rose petals for that extra touch of elegance. Now sit back, relax, and enjoy the sweet floral goodness. Finally, we've come to the grand finale, the dessert course. And what better way to end our Eid feast than with a batch of crispy, sweet, and utterly irresistible baklava. This is a dessert that's guaranteed to impress. But don't let the fancy name fool you. It's actually quite simple to make. Now, the key to a good baklava is using the right kind of phyllo pastry. You want something that's thin, delicate, and easy to work with. And trust me, you don't want to be making your own phyllo pastry for this one. Leave that to the experts. Once you've got your phyllo pastry sorted, let's move on to the filling. We're using a mixture of chopped nuts, sugar, and spices. A classic combination that's guaranteed to satisfy your sweet tooth. Now, you can use any kind of nuts you like for your baklava. Pistachios, walnuts, almonds, they all work beautifully. Now for the fun part, assembling our baklava. Brush a baking dish with melted butter. This will prevent the baklava from sticking and give it a lovely golden brown crust. Then, layer a few sheets of phyllo pastry in the dish, brushing each sheet with melted butter as you go. Next, sprinkle over a generous layer of that delicious nut filling. Then repeat the process. Phyllo pastry, butter, nut filling, phyllo pastry, butter, and so on. You want to end up with a nice thick stack of layered pastry and filling. Now here's where things get a bit messy, but trust me, it's worth it. Using a sharp knife, score the top layer of phyllo pastry into diamond shapes. This will help the baklava cook evenly and make it easier to cut later on. Now pop the baklava into a preheated oven and bake until it's golden brown and crispy. This usually takes about 30 to 40 minutes, but keep an eye on it. Ovens can be temperamental beasts. While the baklava is baking, let's make the syrup. This is what's going to soak into the pastry and give it that signature sticky sweetness. Simply combine sugar, water, honey, and a squeeze of lemon juice in a saucepan and bring it to a boil. Then, reduce the heat and let it simmer for a few minutes until it thickens slightly. As soon as the baklava comes out of the oven, pour the hot syrup all over it. Don't be shy, really drench it. The hot syrup will sizzle and bubble as it soaks into the pastry. Now let the baklava cool completely before cutting it into those diamond shapes you scored earlier. And there you have it, a truly spectacular baklava that's crispy, sweet, nutty, and absolutely irresistible. And there you have it, a complete Eid feast with juicy kebabs, rich korma, refreshing Falooda, and crispy baklava. Let me know in the comments which dish you'll try first. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more festive recipes. Wishing you all a very joyous and blessed Eid. See you in